The main role is working one-to-one with the members and their families. It's looking at assessing, finding out what their needs are, because what we're trying to do is encourage independence sort of to the level that they wish to be independent, through whether that's through advice, through information, through training or equipment. It's really broad, and it's really trying to say what difficulties you're having, what can we do to help you overcome those difficulties. If a veteran comes in for one of our introduction weeks, which all new veterans are invited to come along to, not everyone can come because not everyone can leave their home. They might be looking after someone, and we'll go and see them at home. But if they come in here, they actually have 4 programmed sessions with a Rovi, although we can do more if needed. And it's about sitting down with them and saying, okay, well, what can you see? What problems is sight loss causing? So someone might say, well, I can't see the newspaper anymore, and I used to love reading the sports or the betting pages or something. So we'd get some printout, we'd literally sit down, we'd be looking at someone, trying to work out what level of sight they've got. They might have lost their sight 5-6 years ago and have actually got into a place where they're not doing anything for themselves, and they've got used to everyone else doing everything for them. So sometimes it can be very gently encouraging that person and giving the confidence to say, here you go. And I think as professionals from outside the family, we can often get away with encouraging someone to do something that the family member can't. So I think it's about motivating and showing what the options are. And also giving time. We're very lucky that we can give the time. And it might be in this first week that you have to look at the person and not overwhelm them and think, well, let's just start off with a couple of things, then I'll give you a ring in a month, and we'll come and see you then. So it really does have to be down to the individual and what they want to be able to do, not what we want them to be able to do. We have the introduction weeks where all the new ex-servicemen and women can come and introduced to our service, and in that week, as I say, they have the assessments with the Rovies, but they also have an IT instructor that will do a session with them, because technology is great, and if you've got talking computers and things like that, it can email, and Skyping is open to people. We also have the arts and crafts, so they'll do that. We have the sports and rec department, so people will have a go at rifle shooting, at bowls, things like that. It really is endless, and again, it's about us being open to people telling us what they want to do, and us saying, well, let's see if we can do that then. So people have those assessment weeks, but then after that assessment, where it's like, well, what happens next? And it might be someone said, well, I'd really like to be able to make some meals, because I'm living on processed food at the moment. So we might put out an individual training program for that person and say, okay, what do you want to be able to do? You want to be able to do sandwiches, soups in the microwave, you want to be able to use the cooker again. So we'll get you back in here maybe for a week and do a week's training. So it's assessment and training, and then often we'll follow that training up in the home environment, because they can do it here in our kitchens, but it's quite different to when you get home and transferring it to the home environment. Yes, the mobility can be starting at something very simple, which might be teaching the family members some sighted guide techniques, so that if they're going out with the individual, that they're guiding them safely and effectively. It might be something as simple as a little short folding symbol cane that the person can take out with them, so that if they're crossing the roads, hopefully the traffic is a little more sensitive, or just some basic advice about where to cross the roads and how to cross the roads safely. Sometimes you have to do it slightly differently if you can't see. But it can be full mobility training programs, so it can be someone who, say, lost the majority of their sight and without an aid would fall off a curb or fall down steps or walk into obstacles in the street, in which case we'll do a program of long cane training. And that we would normally start by bringing someone in to do it and do an intensive week. And then follow up the training at home, again, generally through intensive weeks, 1 or 2 intensive weeks in the home area. But a lot of it is about confidence. You teach the skills, but most of it's about giving people the confidence that they can do it when you're not there. and also that the family are confident that they can do it. So we might take the family member out to observe a session and say, look, it's okay, not going to walk out in front of a car, not going to hit the obstacles, the training, it does work. One of the main things that people have difficulty with is the reading. So it will be looking at things like magnifiers, and as I said, the big electronic magnifiers, which can magnify print to a huge degree. We also have scanner devices where you can put printed material on it, it will scan it, and then it will read the text back to you, so if the person's vision isn't good enough. So there's different levels of help for that. Well, there's little labelling devices where you can record an audio label and stick it in your diary that says, go to the hairdresser's on Friday at 10 o'clock. So you don't need to be able to write or read back your writing. You can just learn to use this little device that will record a label. A lot of it's about lighting and colour contrast as well. So it's trying to show things like using task lamps can help people to see the telephone a little bit more clearly. We have large button telephones that people can use. Telling the time is one of the biggest things, and talking watches and talking clocks. And even if it's not that popular with the veteran, it's often very popular with the partner who says, oh, thank goodness, they're not going to ask me every 10 minutes, what's the time? So they can be really simple little things like that. So we might have individuals who can't come to the centre for some reason. As I say, it may be that they're too frail to travel, or it may be that they're caring for someone that they can't leave. So the welfare officer will let us know and we'll arrange to go and see them in their home. So that normally takes 2 or 3 hours of just sitting with them and their family and working out what they want to do. Very similar. It's slightly different in someone's own home because you actually can almost see from how they're living what they want to be able to do. From that, we can go and see them as many times as is necessary. So it might be that we do the assessment. 2 or 3 hours can be a long time for someone, so it's sometimes better to go back again the next day or the next week. After people have gone home from their introduction weeks, it might be that we do a follow-up visit, or we'll get a message from the welfare officer saying, oh, Charlie's sight's changed, he can no longer use his magnifier, can you go out and see him? So rather than bringing someone all the way back down here to look at magnifiers, we'll go and see him in his own home area and perhaps wait till there's a group of people in that area that we can see. Because it is about people coming and perhaps being quite low in self-esteem, quite low in motivation, and by the end of the week you can see a real turnaround in how people feel about what they can do, and they often say, you've given me my life back.